Hello, I'm Jonathan from Boom Instructor Training, and I'm here to help you become a DVSA Approved Driving Instructor. This video is for potential driving instructors, especially so if you're just starting your journey to become a driving instructor. In this case, this is a very important video for you. I want to set your expectations in line with reality, and you need a realistic plan in terms of how you intend to become a driving instructor. There is currently a lack of available Part 2 and Part 3 tests. This is because ADI examiners who normally conduct Part 2 and Part 3 tests are now mainly occupied providing learner driver tests. The reason for this is during all of the pandemic lockdowns, no driving tests were conducted, which created a massive backlog. So DVSA are still playing catch up, and they are prioritising learner driver tests above ADI tests. Plus, driving examiners seem to go on strike from time to time, which doesn't help things, and there seems to be a general shortage of examiners anyway, or at least a shortage of ADI examiners who are capable of conducting ADI tests and standard checks. So, what does this mean for you? It means, and this is happening often, when you book your Part 2 or Part 3 test, rather than being issued a test date, DVSA will take your payment and possibly tell you that your test is on hold. And basically, they will contact you at some point in the future and give you a test date when a slot becomes available. How long will you have to wait? Well, how long is a piece of string? You might be waiting several weeks or several months before you get issued with a date for a Part 2 or Part 3 test. Let me know in the comments if you've been affected by this. You need to have realistic expectations because as things currently are, it's unlikely that you will be able to qualify quickly. It will take a while. Let's talk about the time constraints. You have 2 years from the date of passing the Part 1 test to fully qualify. So you need to pass the Part 2 and Part 3 tests within this 2-year window. This is still enough time, but you need to accept that it might take you the full 2 years to qualify. Once you've passed the Part 1 test, you should immediately pay for the Part 2 test, and the test will possibly be put on hold, and DVSA will contact you with a test date when a slot becomes available. You might be waiting 3 or 4 months. Make sure you are very well prepared when you do attempt the Part 2 test, because if you fail, you might have to wait another 3 or 4 months before you can have a second attempt. The best way to prepare for the Part 2 test is to buy my Part 2 video tutorials and self-learn and self-practice and self-improve. You can easily teach yourself and prepare yourself for the Part 2 test. Just do this in your own time when it's convenient for you. You do not need to pay a driving school for an expensive ADI training course. Keep your money in your pocket. Instead, go to my website and follow my 19-step plan. I've made it really easy for you to become a driving instructor. I've removed all the stress and made the entire process as simple as possible for you. Let's talk about the Part 3 test. Due to the scarcity of Part 3 test slots, you could find yourself under a lot of stress and financial pressure if you apply for a PDI license and sign a contract with a driving school. The trainee license could expire before you're qualified. Remember, it's only valid for 6 months and you might be waiting 3, 4 or 5 months just to have your first attempt of the Part 3 test. And you might need 3 attempts to pass this test. If you fail the first attempt, you might be waiting another 3 or 4 months before you can try again. You don't want to put yourself into a situation where you are relying on a PDI license to earn a living with all this uncertainty. Hopefully, DVSA would grant you a second and even a third trainee license, but this isn't guaranteed. Do you really want to put yourself under all this pressure? The longer you are using a PDI license, the more likely it is that you will fall into the earn while you learn trap. Remember, the Part 3 test pass rate is only 35%. Check out my other YouTube video which explains this. Completing the qualification process to become an ADI should not take over your life. It should not overwhelm you. It should not be a stressful experience. It should be something that you are enjoying and something that you are doing in your spare time around your current job and family commitments. So my advice is do not apply for a PDI license because it isn't necessary. Instead, keep your current job and practice teaching pupils independently, giving free lessons, using your own car in your spare time. Just do between 2 and 4 practice lessons each week over a 10-week period leading up to your Part 3 test. This is ample practice. The Part 3 test is a test of competence, not a test of experience. You will get plenty of experience once you're fully qualified. By doing this, you are not putting yourself under any unnecessary stress and unnecessary financial pressure. You will hopefully pass the Part 3 test when you pass, and you might need the full 2-year window to achieve this. The best way to prepare for the Part 3 test is to firstly learn how to teach pupils by watching my Part 3 video tutorials, and then just get some independent practice in your own time. This is a really easy way to prepare for the Part 3 test. You need a relaxed approach to becoming a qualified ADI, considering the current lack of available Part 2 and Part 3 tests. There's no point signing a contract with a driving school. It isn't necessary. You will save a lot of money. You'll probably save thousands of pounds, and you will avoid a lot of stress if you follow my advice. Simply follow my 19-step plan. With my guidance, you can do all of this yourself. Just have an easygoing approach, go with the flow, and you can only take the Part 2 and Part 3 tests once a slot becomes available. You need to accept it might take the full 2 years to qualify. It could be sooner, but it might not be. Please like and subscribe if you found this information helpful. I'm simply being honest and realistic with you, and I hope you appreciate this. And remember, in the future, when you're teaching pupils, keep it simple and enjoy it.